This is the Falsified video. It's titled Norfolk Pilot Recovering After Plane Crash That Killed His Passenger. I filmed this live on the internet, so I'm proof it's been on the internet, and it's on YouTube. Now, before watching this, just think about everything I've spoken to you about in these Air Accident Investigation Branch images and in the media images. And this has been produced as a rebuttal against all my evidence I presented in these images. It's been produced to explain everything, and I'll demonstrate to you how. I'll just run the first couple of minutes and then we'll talk about it. But just think about everything I've spoken to you about, the position of the aircraft, etc, etc. Okay, off we go.
The flames may be out, but today, 24 hours after a vintage plane came down near the former RAF Hardwick, the clear-up was continuing. It's thought the restored Second World War plane crashed as it was preparing to land around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Fire and ambulance crews tried to rescue those on board, but...
Right, I've got to turn the sound off. Right, there we go. Right, very convincing, isn't it? It confounds your senses. It's got a news report, it's a video, it's incredibly realistic, isn't it? Very easy to prove that it's falsified. Right, that's a still from that very video. Now, look at the oak trees here. There has only ever been one oak tree at that location. That's the bank there. There's only ever been one oak tree there. That's that same view there. This is the edge of the bank. I'm standing where this guy is here when I've taken that photograph in July 2018. There's only one oak tree. Google Earth, June 2011, there's only one oak tree, which is that one there. The Google 3D Earth image, there's only one oak tree there. There's only ever been one oak tree there. That has been edited into the picture. Now it's quite easy, again, to construct up a moving digital imagery. You just build up the image, again, exactly as I demonstrated to you with these still images. And with this you combine still and moving imagery. You just build up the image. So there couldn't have been an oak tree there. Now just think, in June 2011 there was only one tree there. So in October 2016, a tree couldn't have grown and attained that much of growth anyway, even if it had been cut down. Now, if you went to the accident site and dug around here, you will not find the root or stump of another tree. There has only ever been one oak tree there. Now, I believe these trees are not, that isn't actually that tree, that's been filmed from somewhere else, and this background has been built up. Because look how unhealthy the tree is in 2018 and in June 2011. But then suddenly, miraculously, in October 2016, it attains this huge amount of growth and is really healthy, and then it suddenly deteriorates again. When I examined that tree, it had a sudden oak death. Right, there's only ever been one oak tree at that location. Other feature here is, look at this unique reflection. Look familiar? Remember what I was talking about the reflection from the gates of the old Hardwick airfield? And that same unique illusory reflection appears now to the left of another bank, but now on the airfield side, farm side of the road. You could drive for thousands of miles before you came upon that unique illusory reflection. But it appears again here, doesn't it? Because it's been put in there as a rebuttal, and it's been explained now as the windscreen of a lorry. Now that lorry is parked in the dung heap. Aerial view, that's the dung heap there. The lorry is parked in here. Now it may be that the dung heap's empty and it's been parked up, but someone's gone to all the trouble to park it parallel, and it's perfectly positioned to explain those gates on that reflection for the gates on the Hardwick airfield's farm side road, hasn't it? Remember we talked about the position of the aircraft, and we've proven to you that it can't be in that position. It's in a completely different position in the Air Accident Investigation Branch report. The other thing, remember the traffic cone? The traffic cone, remember it starts off as a traffic cone, then it's nibbled away to look at like a piece of wreckage. This now sets out to explain that as being a plastic sack. I'll show you the video in a minute. You watch the video, it starts off as a pointed cone, then suddenly it flaps in the wind, and it's revealed to be a yellow plastic sack. And we see the fireman, look, the very tall fireman, over 7 feet tall, walking around. And it convinces us that it's true, doesn't it? Another feature of the video, I'll show it in a minute, there is a gale blowing in these trees here. The wind speed on the day following the accident was 9 miles per hour. The wind in these trees, if you look when we show the video again, is about 24 miles an hour at least. And that the bushes in the foreground are hardly moving. Right, we'll run the video again. So we're looking for at the yellow cone. Now watch the yellow pointed object at the end of the rudder. It will suddenly flap in a minute. Now look, it flaps. Now it's explained away as a sack. Now watch the wind in the trees and the bushes. Look at the wind on this foreground bush here. Look, it's hardly moving. Hardly moving at all. Now watch the wind in the trees in the background. Look at them sway. It's about 24 miles an hour, I'd estimate the wind there. Because once again, someone's gone to the accident site, I suspect. They've taken a long shot view here, and then they've probably, from this point here, edited in all this other scenery. Because the wind's completely different. The wind is actually coming across the field, so that's not sheltered, that bush. That would have picked up the wind the same as those trees. Now, the other feature here, we want to have a look at the back of the fire engine. The fire engine has you can tell the fire engine's been edited into picture. It's blurred, it's out of focus. Oh, that's irritated me, right. Right, look at the fire engine. This image here is one of the still images that I've shown you before, and it's just been put into the picture. And you'll see a fuzziness around it again. Look at the fuzziness around the fire engine. The quality isn't the same as the rest of the image, which tells us that it's falsified. Now look at these black objects at the back of the fire engine. I can guarantee what these are meant to, what we're going to be led to believe these are the fuel cells from the Mustang. Because the Air Accidents Investigation Branch have got to explain away how there could possibly be 26 gallons of fuel in that fuel tank now. So they're going to say, or this video is a rebuttal to say that that fuel tank fell out the wing, the right hand fuel tank. Well, it couldn't have. Look at the anatomy of the fuel cell. What happens is, in here, you've got, look, tank studs. You've got studs, threaded studs that screw into there and come up here. That fuel cell then goes up into the wing, and those studs come up through here, through the ribs on the wing, and they're screwed up, bolted. That's the top surface of the wing there. And also, on the bottom of the tank door, the studs come down onto the bottom of the stress panel underneath, and they're screwed up there as well. And also the fuel filler cap neck there, that's screwed up to the underside top surface of the wing, and the fuel gauge there, and there are a couple of studs there as well. So that would have had to have been torn away. That would have just torn all of that away. It couldn't fall out. The only way you could remove it would be to remove the rest of the tank door, which isn't removed in the picture, and you'd have to undo all these studs. So that couldn't have happened. Right, there are many other features of this video that are fabricated. I'm not going to bother going through them, I don't think, at the moment. You can watch this on YouTube, but I've already proven to you that that video is falsified. And these police personnel are falsified as well. I'm probably going to run out of time now. Right, just